Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live. Today is Friday, October 16th, 2020. We are again in the final hour of the trading day and the final day of the trading week. Boy, what a week, huh? Just to remind everybody, I do make the majority of my buying and selling decisions at the end of the day, in the last hour, and particularly in the last few minutes. That's when the large financial institutions make their end of day decisions. They're dealing with so much money and they're buying and selling so much stock that they move the price significantly from what the day traders and the algorithms had the price set at during the middle of the day. I think they're the very smart people, best technology, best information. They're dealing with the most money, and so I prefer to make my buying and selling decisions based upon what they are doing. I think it's an edge over the long run. So thank you all for coming today. I really do appreciate it. I always look forward to seeing everyone. We have such a great group, such great contributions, and consider you all friends, and thank you for spending your time here, investing your time here, and I hope it's helping with your trading and your investing. So, all right, let's take a look. Currently, the Dow Jones is up 248 points, having a big day. The NASDAQ is up 44 points, up 0.39%, and the S&P is up right about 20 points. So it looks like the winner today is the Dow Jones out of the three, and it looks like the NASDAQ is the laggard today. So, all right, here is the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them. I did have several day trades today that I'm going to share with you, and I am happy to announce that the streak is intact. Day 14. I've had some great trades today. Unbelievable. I don't know if this is like once in a lifetime or not, or if I'm just kind of kicking into a new gear with day trading, but you know how that goes. You go through cycles, but today was good, so I'm grateful for that. After that, I'm going to go through the watch list. We're going to take a look at your positions. We're going to see how those are doing. As I look over the board there, I see quite a few green, so that is good. Then we are going to talk about trader psychology, get away from charts and entries and all that kind of stuff for a second, because at the end of the day, the most important skill that you can acquire is the self-discipline in trading to follow your plan. And if you're new to trading, you may think, why does Greg always talk about this? If you're experienced trader, you probably know what I'm talking about. But it's very important to develop discipline. It is the number one skill. If I could give anyone a number one skill, it would be to follow their plan. So we'll talk about that. After that, I've gone down through my watch list. I have taken a look at some potentials. I've gone down through the results of Kamal's watch list, gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. And I have three requirements whenever I look to enter a trade. First requirement, look for a confluence or combination of indicators lining up. I look at each indicator as a group of buyers, and if the more confluences or combination of buyers you have coming in together, ideally on the same time frame, the better chance you have to have a profitable trade. So that's very important. Number two, you have to have a good risk to reward ratio. You can have a fantastic confluence of events, but based upon RSI levels or ATR channels, the way that I trade, it may not give you a good risk to reward. You want to have a minimum of 2-to-1 reward to risk. 3 is even better, right? But that's what I'm looking for, at least 2-to-1. And then lastly, please always consider each day how many positions you have, how correlated your positions are, how much account heat you have, or in other words, how much of your total capital is at risk. Because whenever you have a position, you have capital at risk. So I'm going to go down through the watch list using those three criteria. I'm going to try to narrow down the candidates at the end of the day to the very best one, looking for those confluences, looking for the best risk to reward ratio, keeping in mind correlation, and keeping in mind signals and confluences on multiple time frames if possible. All right. And then if I find something, I will take the trade at the end of the day. After that, after the market closes, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. If you need clarification, please let me know. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at before the close of the market, I'm happy to do that as well. Put them in the chat and I will do my very best to get to them. Put an asterisk by it so that I know it's time sensitive. And then lastly, if you could please, if you have any new additions or subtractions today, if you could please wait until the end of the day to tell me what they are, and then that way trading's over, I'm done teaching, markets close, pressure's off, and then I'll have plenty of time to get those all correct on the board and accurate. All right, so that's the plan. That is the plan. Hang tight. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's see who is here. Tracy Peterson, hello to the Gossett group, or should we say groupies? I've never had a groupie before, but thank you very much, Tracy. It's nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hope you and Paxton's doing well. And if Paxton's there nearby you, please give him my best. But thanks for coming, Tracy. It's always nice to see you. I hope you're learning something. Kamal is here. Hey, buddy. Good to speak to you today, or chat with you on Skype. And then Kamal and I had a good discussion last night on Skype. We kind of hang out sometimes and talk about the finer nuances of trading, and I think it was helpful. I think it was good for both of us. So thanks, Kamal, and thanks for the results of your scanner. Miko is here. Good afternoon, Greg and all. Hi, Miko. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hope the family's well. Hi, Bob. Hey, everyone. Hey, Bob. Good to see you. Gary is here. Hey, Gary. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. Zach says, hello, Greg and the fantastic Gossets. Whoa, there you go. Good to see you, Zach. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Dan says, hi all. Hey, Dan, good to see you. Tracy said, can we look at Zoom today, please? You know, I can look at any other stock, but Zoom is the one I decided that we can't look at today. I'm sorry, Tracy. No, I'm kidding. Let's take a look. Wow, Zoom is zooming away. Look at this big move, up 4.48%. Now, word of caution here. We are near the third ATR channel. 92% of prices fail there. We are above the 70, which is better than being below the 70, but we do have quite a bearish divergence here. Tracy, see this high here? See how high these bars are? That means a lot of movement. Now we've made a higher high. See how low this green bar is? That means this is a bearish divergence. It's a double top situation with the bearish divergence. Now, just because you have this doesn't mean you go in and short it. But if I were long, that would concern me being up here at the third ATR channel and having this double top with a bearish divergence. You know, a lot of people get sucked into these moves because it seems exciting and the news is good, but you know, try to always be objective. Look at the indicators. And I mean, if I were in Zoom right now, I would certainly be lightening up my position up here. I can tell you that. Steve Burns. Hey, buddy, good to see you. Hope you're having a good day, my friend. Thank you as always for coming. It's always great to have you here. It's really an honor. I feel that way. I know everyone else does. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I tell you every day, but I really, really mean it. And also, thank you so much for including me in your list today on Twitter. I always appreciate that as well. It's very kind of you. All right, well, let's get to it. Qs, I think, yeah. I bought the Qs back here on the 30th of September. I bought it at 277.80 with the 520 crossover. Initially went up immediately, hit some profit targets as always. Next day came crashing back down. The price closed below both the 5 and the 20. I didn't want to get out of the whole position. My approach does not call for me to get out of the whole position, but half the position. So I did have to sell half the position here because it closed both the 5 and the 20. But the 5 stayed above the 20. That's why I kept the other. Then we had this really nice leg up. Of course, hitting profit targets along the way. Then we had the inside bar. Then we came down here. I got out of half of my position here when we closed below the previous day's low. Had a down day yesterday, bounced again today. I did hit one profit target back up here at 292.57. So I don't know, $1.75 higher. Just guessing, right? I can't do math under pressure. But anyway, so far, really good, and glad that I did hit that one profit target up there. And that's the reason I use these profit targets, these phase out profit targets, because even if you have a bounce in reverse, you do get a lock sum in at a higher. So anyway, steady as she goes. I'm looking for a rejection of the 70 RSI here. Then I would get out of another half. If we came all the way back to break even here, I would just get out. I wouldn't let this really nice gain turn into a loss. SPY. All right. Yesterday I got whooped up on the SPY, but today a little redemption. I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take that overnight risk. I sell it first thing the next morning. This is based upon a long-term backtested study from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest on Twitter. She's the Chief Investment Officer at Charles Schwab. Big position since 1993. 2 approaches they tested. 1, buy the SPY at the open, hold it through the day, sell it at the close. If you did this every day, buy the open, sell the close, buy the open, sell the close, every day since 1993, you'd have returned a negative 13.9%. However, if you do the opposite. This is the approach that I use, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk, sell it first thing the next morning. This gained a positive 634.2%. So a drastic difference between when you buy it and sell it. One negative 13.9, the other positive 634.2. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. It may never work a day in the future, ever again. It really may not, but we just don't know. But so if I'm going to allocate money towards something, towards a trade, it's going to be a trade that has good back-tested results. Blue line, buy the close, sell the next morning. Orange line, buy the morning, sell the same day close. You can see it's not even close. If you're considering using this, realize it's really streaky. You can have years up and then years down and then years up and then years down, but overall it has back tested very well. Use a conservative position size. I think a good starting size would be 5% of your capital. So if you had $100,000, 5% of that's $5,000. Buy $5,000 at the close, and hopefully you sell it for a little more than $5,000 the next morning. So I did buy the SPY yesterday at the close at 347.50. I sold it this morning at 348.99. So a buck. Let's see, 50, $1.44 overnight, which is good. So that's nice. Happy with that. I will buy this again today at the close and hold it over the weekend. Have another trade here on SPY, a crossover trade. Looks like Brian and myself are in this trade still. I bought it back here at 332.82 with the 1050 crossover. Been moving up. Of course, I scale out profits all the way. I sold half of my position 2 days ago when we finally closed below the low of the previous day's low. Went down yesterday, reversed back up, and again hit a profit target here at 350.69, right near the top. Locked in more profits up there. Took some chips off the table, right? Even if it goes crashing back down from here, they can't take that away from me because I locked it in. So, and lightening up my position as we go up. So this one is steady as she goes. Monster. Yas, David, and myself did buy Monster with the 1050 EMA cross. I bought it here at 80.97. Had 2 beautiful days up. Scaled out. Got out 2 days ago with the close below the previous day's low. Yesterday we went down. We rallied earlier in the day. I did hit a profit target here at 82.40. I'm sorry, 82.24. Luckily, again, before it went down. Now, I am going to get out of Monster today. It's right back to my entry point. I don't want to let this trade turn into a loss. And I'm right back at break even, but I'm not break even on the trade. I'm positive on the trade because I scaled out, took half profits here. But I'm going to go ahead and just sell Monster at the end of the day here. I don't like that we were higher, closed lower, and I'm right exactly back to break even. And I just want to lock in this and be done with this as a profitable trade. So I hope that makes sense. All right, Exxon is a big hot mess because I had a bunch of day trades. So I'm going to show you the day trades first and get rid of all the dang lines. I hope this makes sense. Okay, I bought Exxon on the 5-minute here at 33.98. We had this nice sidewards motion, then we triggered a V2. We rejected the 50-day moving average here, so I got in at 33.98, got out of half at 34.15, then continued up nicely, got out of another half of a half at 34.47. When we rejected the third ATR channel, and here we had a close below the previous day's low. So to sum up, bought 33.98, sold half at 34.15, sold another half of a half at 34.47, and sold another half at 34.52. So that was a really, really good trade there. I have Exxon as a swing trade as well, so that's why this chart looks so cluttered. But let me just clean this up, hopefully. All right, that looks a little better. Then I did buy Exxon here. We came back down. Again, we tested the 200-day moving average. I bought it and closed back above, giving me a good risk to reward ratio. I bought it at 34.82. It immediately bounced. I sold half here with the rejection of the 50-day moving average at 34.32. I sold another half here at 34.37 with the rejection of the 50 RSI, and then I thought it was going to break out, and then it came back down. I had to close below the previous day's low. So got in at 34.28, got out at 34.32, got out at 34.34, and got out at 34.37. So that was also a good trade. Okay, so that is it on Exxon for the day trades. Now, the swing trade I took yesterday at 34.40 with this nice higher low V1, rejection of the -1 ATR channel, went positive a little bit earlier, but now it is down. It's down 19 cents. So I am slightly down on the trade, about 15 cents. Is all. This red line here, halfway of yesterday's washout bar, is my stop on the swing trade. Kamal also got in intraday at 33.98, so he's in the money, 26 cents on that. And Johan also got in with me, and Gary also bought calls on Exxon, $35, expiring November 20th. So it has to be above $35 in order for Gary to have be in the money on his calls. So anyway, slightly down on the day, but not too bad. Apple also had some day trades on Apple. Boy, what happened to Apple here? Whoa. Two trades on Apple on the 5-minute. Here we came down, we bounced right at the 30 RSI, we rejected the negative third ATR channel. I got in at 119.67. It went up for me, came back down, but held the 30, went up again, started to go up, and I got tired of it. When it got back down to my break-even point, I just broke even on the trade. It got here, was profitable, a little underwater, profitable, came back to break even. I was like, that's enough. That's enough. Trade should move for you right away, and if it doesn't, it's concerning. Okay, second trade on Apple. Here we have this nice double bottom with the bullish divergence. We have a false breakout to the downside and a rally. I was not sitting in front of my computer when this happened. Otherwise, I would have bought it here. I got back to my computer, and this next bar was in play. And Kamal and I were discussing this last night. Sometimes after you get a signal, waiting for a little bit of a pullback, as long as it's still holding the signal, is a good idea. And so I bought here at 119.49 because it was still holding halfway the washout bar. Had it closed below, I would have gotten out, but I bought it at a lower price, so it would have been less of a loss than if I bought it here. But fortunately, it held that support. I bought it 119.49. Here we rejected the 50 RSI. I got out of half at 119.78. And here I just got out. We were getting near the 50-day moving average, and it was just a really good trade. And so I just pulled the trigger on the rest of the trade. So I got in at 119.49, got out of half at 119.78, and got out of the other half at 120.18. So good day trading today for sure. Look at this. What happened here? Holy smokes. All right. Gary and Frank are in Apple. Frank is in at 111 even. It's 119.75. So he's nicely in the money. Gary's in from 116.31. It's 119.74. So nicely in the money there as well. And then I have not traded this for a long time, but I did trade Boeing today. Little different move here. You don't see me talk about trend lines a lot, but we were back in the value. We had a lot of sideways motion. The bars were starting to contract. I bought right here at 169.35 when we broke above this trend line, took out this high, 169.35. We rejected here. I got out of half, got out of half here. Got out of half here at 170.21. Then we had a close below previous day's low. Got out at 169.88. So 169.35, out at 169.88, and out at 170.21. So all good day trades today, except for that one break-even one, but the break-even trade is a good trade as well. Steve says, weekend is almost here. It is. Frank says, hello, Greg and group. Hello, Frank. Good to see you, bud. Steve says, I do have the 10-50-day EMA crossover signal on Disney today. The chart is ugly, though. I will hold my nose and buy if it stays crossed. Yep, I have that one. I have that one on my list as well. David is here. Hey, David. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. Steve says, VIX still close to that 1030 EMA crossover, but can't hold it. Yep, so Steve's talking about the 1030 EMA crossover on the VIX, if I can find it. Oh my gosh, where did it go? Too many charts, everybody. Oh, there it is right there. Yep, the 10 still, it's 26.55. The 30's 26.63, so it needs to cross back over that in order for Steve to start using his put approach, using the 1030 on VIX on the VIX chart. Okay. Let's take a look at your trades. Brian bought a half a position on Take-Two software. He bought it at 168.80. It is now 169.22. He is up on the trade and up on the day. So very nice, Brian. Bought a half a position there. Gary, boy, Intel has been strong. Gary sold puts down to $45 on Intel. It's at $54.50, so $9.50 to the downside. He has protection. If it holds above $45 by November 20th, he will be able to keep all the premium. I'm sure he's close to 75, 78% of the premium already. So congratulations, Gary. NVAX, Johan bought NVAX at 111.17. It is now 107.50. It's down 3.5% today. So down on the day, and Johan is now down on the trade. RBA, Mark bought RBA here at 60.61. This is Ritchie Brothers. It is 64.56. So up about $4 on the trade and up on the day as well. So very nice there. One thing I see here, we have this big bar down, larger than one ATR down. Now we've rallied halfway into the middle of that, and we're at the third ATR channel. So that would be concerning for me. QLD, we have Yas in QLD in at 92.95. It is 99.63. He took it with the 1030 EMA crossover. Is up on the day, and he's nicely up on the trade. AQN, Gary bought AQN at 15.29. It's 15.71. It's up 0.71%, and he's up on the trade and up on the day. Amazon, Glenn bought Amazon all the way back here at 29.61. It is 33.12. It's down 27 points, down 0.83%, but he is well into the profits on that trade, even though it is down a little bit today. Okay, Steve and Gary have positions in Google. Steve bought Google yesterday at 1559.85. It is currently 1579.62. It's up $20.49. It's up 1.31%. Very nice. Steve took it with the 1030 SMA crossover. Gary is in the position, but he expressed the trade in a different way. He sold the $1,200 puts expiring November 20th, and it's $1,578.91. So as long as it stays above 1,200, he will be able to keep all the premium that he wrote. LVGO, Frank bought LVGO at 132.50, went up, came back down. He sold half his position, still at a profit, kept the other half, and it's run nicely since then. Is down a little bit today, but still nicely up on the trade. CRM, Brian bought CRM at 251.20. It is now 259.25. So is up on the day, nicely up on the trade. Facebook, Kamal did buy Facebook intraday today at 269. It is 267.12. He bought it, basically we had the 520 cross. He bought a pullback into that crossover. So he didn't take the actual crossover. He was waiting for the crossover to happen, and then waiting for a pullback while the crossover was still in place. Hope that makes sense. So slightly down on that. Wing, Kamal. Oh, Kamal did buy Wing at 132 here with this higher low V1 rejection in the -1 ATR channel. Next day it went up nicely, then down, and then up, and then now we're down 2.33%. So down on the day, down on the trade. Yas bought Coca-Cola at 49.63. It is now 50.13. So it is up on the day. He's up on the trade. Walmart, Brian bought Walmart at 140.69. It is now 144.58. So almost $4 in the money. Up a little bit today, but nicely up on the trade. EA, Brian bought a half a position in EA at 132.70. It is 132.09. It is up today, but slightly down on the trade. PLTR, David bought PLTR yesterday at $9.50. Is down a bit today, but it's still 9.72. So he's nicely up on the trade still, but off of the highs today. Match, Johan, Kamal, and Frank with a quarter position bought Match yesterday at 111.10. It is now 112.09, up 0.83%. So congratulations, guys, up on the day, up on the trade. TME, Johan bought TME at 14.30. It's now 14.21, so he's down 9 cents on the trade so far. And then lastly, INSG, Zach and Quad bought INSG at 10.38. It is down 1.64% today. This was the one that I was going to buy yesterday, but I had some issues with my trading platform, and I didn't buy it. So it looks like I dodged a bullet on that one. Looks like it's holding the halfway of the washout bar barely. So some ups, some downs, some all arounds. Interesting, Apple, with the market being up, and Apple is down today. It's been down almost all day. Oh, it was green at the open. MJ, what's happening? Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well in Australia. Thanks for coming by. Here, let me put down Frank's poems. There's block 1, block 2. Let's see. All right, let's see what Frank has to say. Man, Frank had a poem yesterday. Unbelievable. Okay, day trades can be dandy when they work. They're sweet as candy. Just be careful of the stock. Just be careful of the stock you pick. Short-term trades are not for kicks. Money comes and goes real quick, all with the sound of a little click. Wow, that is true. Day trades can be dandy when they work. They're sweet as candy. Just be careful of the stock you pick. Short-term trades are not for kicks. Money comes and goes real quick with all the sound of a little click. Boy, that is true. I'll tell you what, with day trading, you can just be kicking butt, and somehow at the end of the day, you've given it all back. I mean, I'm sure if any of you day trade, you understand that. Thank you, Frank. Jackson says, missed your poems, Frank. He's got the best poems ever, Jackson. Gary says, Greg, you are a Jedi Master. I have exactly 76.5% in Intel. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. I figured. I was just kind of I didn't really do numbers in my head. It just I figured that's about what you had. Oh, good. Well, good. I'm glad I was in the ballpark. Frank says, thanks, MJ. MJ says, I know you can't view on Trade Navigator unless you can view an alternate program. Bought APT on September 8th for $79.50. Yeah, I can't see it. What's it at now, Jackson? You bought it at $79.50. Jackson's still in the trade. Sorry for the typo. I'll edit that before I post it. I think there was the stocks, right, Frank? Jackson, what's it at now? It's a $79.50. Okay. Listen, before we start looking for some end-of-day trades, before I go down through my watch list, before I start looking for the 3 requirements for end-of-day trade, confluence combination of indicators, ideally on multiple time frames, good risk to reward ratio, 2-to-1 is minimum, and number 3, keep in mind, correlation, account heat, and how many positions you have, and the correlation of those positions. But before we do that, like I said at the beginning of the show, I just want to talk a little bit about trader psychology. It's the most important skill you can learn in trading. I say this early and often all the time because it's so true. And I want everybody to realize that and remember that. Following your plan is the most important part of trading. It's the greatest skill you will ever learn. This is from our friend Steve Burns, who's in the chat with us right now. This is at S. Joseph Burns on Twitter. I'm sure you subscribe to him, but if you have not, please do yourself a favor. Go over to Twitter right now, type in Steve Burns, and click on his account because he's a great friend of the show. He has taught me so much over the years, and I really, really appreciate him. Let's see what Steve has to say. Before we can concern ourselves with winning and losing, we should give consideration as to whether we are playing the right game. And this is from Dr. Steenbarger at Steen Bab, but he's a famous trading psychologist. So let's break this down. Before we can concern ourselves with winning and losing, we should give consideration as to whether we are playing the right game. The way that I interpret this is, look, there's so many different ways to trade out there, just tons, right? You need to find an approach that fits your personality. I could never be a long-term trend trader. It's just not in my nature. But, Kamal and I were having this discussions last night, and, I think we both kind of agreed that Kamal is more of a long-term trend trader. So if he's using approaches that are shorter term, that may not fit his personality, right? Mine's more short term, not so much long term. So you could give me the best long-term trend following approach, and I probably wouldn't be able to follow it, right? So look around at different trading approaches and pick the one that you think that fits your personality, that feels right to you, that is sustainable. Nothing worse than trying to fit a square peg into a round hole as far as you compared to the trading strategy that you're teaching. I teach 5 different trading approaches. Doesn't mean you have to use them all, but ideally use the one that feels best to you. I can't remember in Market Wizard, somebody said, they asked the Market Wizard, what is your advice on trading? And it was a very simple answer. Do more of what works. If you find yourself with trend trades making more money than any other thing, than any other approach, trend trade. If you find yourself not being able to trend trade and you like shorter term swing trades, then swing trade. But the way he summed it up was, which trading approach should I use? How should I approach trading? Just use the approach that works. And I'm sure all of you out there, if you think about it for a minute, will go, boy, I make more money when I buy return to values, or if I just buy dips, or, maybe you've had good success with buying breakouts. But one more time, before we concern ourselves with winning and losing, we should give consideration as to whether we are playing the right game. Like I said, the way I interpret that, are we playing the right game in trading, means which approach to trading are we choosing. So thank you for that, Steve. Appreciate that, my friend. So Jackson bought it at $79.50. It's $96.72. Fantastic. Very nice. Very nice, Jackson. Arthur, hey, Arthur, good to see you. I'm currently reading Steve Burns' book, Moving Averages 101. Highly recommend it. It helps understand how Greg takes his trades. That's where I learned the majority of it from, Arthur, and I'm glad you're reading that book. That book has had a huge impact on my trading career. Using moving averages, using good risk to reward ratios, getting out quickly when you're wrong, using those moving averages as a construct to decide, if you're in or you're out of the trade. But thank you, Arthur. And it's a wonderful book. And if people haven't read it, Moving Averages 101 by Steve Burns, the second edition just recently came out. You can get it on Amazon in Kindle. Steve says, the best trading strategy for us is the one that we believe in and can trade with discipline over the long term and not be psychologically uncomfortable or stressed out all the time. That's 100%. That's what I was saying. It's the one that is sustainable, that fits your personality. 100%. Some people like futures. Some people choose options because you don't have to be as precise with options, and you have a defined risk, depending on what options trades that you express. But there's a lot of different ways to trade. Don't just start trading the first book you read or the first approach that you learn about. There's lots of different ones out there, and some may fit you better, some may fit you like a glove, and some may not fit you like a glove. So the thing is, you kind of have to know about the different type of trading approaches and probably experiment with several different trading approaches before you kind of find the one that fits your personality. Steve says, thanks, Arthur. Was they not a great forward? Steve was nice enough to let me write the forward in that book. I appreciate that. That's an honor. Jackson says, totally agree, Steve and Greg. I would also add, we have many other things in our lives to deal with, etc. So if we can simply trade our plan with little to no stress, then it's a good fit. That's 100% right. That's 100% right. Arthur said, Steve, it certainly was. I'm really enjoying the whole book. It's a freaking fantastic book. Unbelievably great, fantastic book. All right, real quick. I did take the crossover on the Qs, did hit the one profit target. I am keeping this. It's still nicely in the money. I will be keeping this. SPY, of course, had the good overnight SPY trade, which is good. And then also have the crossover trade on SPY, which is also nicely in the money. Did hit one profit target right near the top today. Monster, I told you I am getting out of that. It's back to my break-even point, but it's still a profitable trade because I took profits up here as it moves up and then closed below the previous day's low here. So, now we're back to break-even. I'm just going to go ahead and take this off. We've gone up, come down, gone up, come down, gone up, come down. So every rally is being sold into. Exxon. Am down a little bit on Exxon today. It is holding the halfway of the washout bar. It did already test the halfway of the washout bar yesterday. So anyway, this one I will hold. Apple I don't have anymore. That was the day trade. And Boeing, ooh, that's a nasty reversal bar there. So I can get rid of Boeing. Are we red in the markets? Oh, we are in the NASDAQ. Dow Jones up 137.6 points only. We were up over 300. NASDAQ down 11 points now. We were green. S&P still green, but down well off of its highs, that's for sure. All right, let's take a look and see what we have here. Here is Disney. So Disney does have a good back-tested result with the 1050, wait. Yeah, sorry. All right, this is what Steve was talking about earlier. Do we have the 1050? 125.87, 125.86. So yes, technically we do. It's an area that is okay for me to buy. We're in the value zone. I don't buy over the second ATR channel, but we are in a legitimate place for me to take this crossover if it holds. It's 125.87 is the 10, the 50 is 125.86. If these two numbers are even, that also constitutes a crossover. If they were 125.86 and 125.86, it would still constitute a crossover based upon how ETF replay does theirs, but it is 125.88, 125.87, so it is above. So I do like this trade. I like that we have positive MACD here. I'm glad we're a little off of our high. Again, if I were to take the trade and the price closes below both the 10 and the 50, I would just go ahead and get out of half. If the 10, if it was below the 10 and the 50, I would get out of half. If the 10 actually then closed under the 50, I would get out of the second half. But I will be watching this one closely at the end of the day. But the 1050 crossover does work well, or not every time, but over time it does have an edge. It does have profitable results. Doesn't mean it's going to this time, but I like the construct of the trade. You know, I like that MACD's positive. I like we're in a neutral area here in the value zone. We're not overextended. So Disney is certainly a possibility for me today. Okay, this came from Kamal Scanner. Here's Marriott International. We do have a higher low V2. Here's day one, day two. Day two washes out day one, day three. Looks like it's going to close above day one's close. MACD is positive. However, the thing that concerns me about this trade, it's a higher low V2, which means we closed below the 1 ATR channel. We rallied, we came back down, and then moved back up as indicated by the V2 trigger. MACD is positive, but I usually don't take a higher low V2 if the 50 RSI has been rejected or the 50-day moving average has been rejected. And you see how the 50-day moving average has already been rejected here today. So that's a warning sign to tell me that the prices, tried to break above the 50, then sellers came in and closed back down. So with earlier in the day, I liked it, but now because of the 50-day moving, the rejection of the 50-day moving average, I don't like it. Same with Johnson & Johnson. We were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. We formed a V2 here. We bounced off previous support and we bounced off the 100-day moving average. We are at the 50 RSI, exactly right on the dot. But again, this rejected the 50-day moving average already above me today. So that to me is a warning sign. So I'm going to pass on the trade. Momo. All right. Momo Incorporated. This is a higher low V1. We're below the -1 ATR channel. We rally. We come back down. We washed out yesterday's low. So yesterday was day one. Today is day two. Washes out day one's low, closing above day one's close. We did not reject the 50-day moving average. Let's go over on the weekly and take a look at the weekly. Weekly is forming a bit of a base here. It did find support at the at the second ATR channel below it. This big bar weeks ago definitely does concern me for sure. But as far as a risk to reward goes, you know, my risk would be a close below halfway of today's bar. That's halfway of the washout bar. We made the low here. We rallied. We are holding the 50% Fibonacci from here to the downside. It's okay. I'll put that in the possibility group. Vertex Pharmaceuticals. Well, okay. These are always very scary trades, everybody, when you get these huge moves down. Yes, yesterday we went clearly under the 30 RSI. Earlier in the day, we were above the 30 RSI. Honestly, even with that, I would not have taken the trade. Whenever you have these big skyscraper down bars, that just means there was so much selling, there was so much supply coming into the market that almost certainly, unless there's some kind of new news, that people are just going to sell into any move up. So I'm not interested in Vertex, and it is below 30 RSI anyway. AVAY is doing nice today, but this one is too far extended. We're at a 70 RSI. It's a little rich for my blood. We're up at the fourth ATR channel. Probably more often than not, this is going to continue higher, but it just doesn't give me a good plan as far as a risk to reward ratio. Because, you know, yeah, you could probably milk it for another day or two, but a lot of times with these big up moves, when they come to an end, they come down hard. So you're risking a lot to make a little is the way that I look at this. Dow. So that's double leverage Dow Jones, just too high for me up here. I mean, it looks like it is closing above the 250-day moving average, but I'm not going to take it up here at the 200. And this is a bearish bar. You know, we opened, we rallied, completely got sold into. This is a bearish kangaroo tail, as Dr. Alexander Elder puts it. So I have no interest in Dow. ISRG, Intuitive Surgical, that's a nice V1, but we're in the high 60s. We're right at the third ATR channel. Remember, 92% of prices fail here, and that's what happened here. It fooled around with it here, but then came back down. We're going right back up into it. I would prefer to buy Intuitive Surgical if we come back down to the value zone, which is between this green line and this green line. It's always best to buy in value, sell above value. Buy below value, sell in value. So again, buy below value, sell in value. Buy in value, sell above value. That's what Dr. Alexander Elder, I mean, that was his mantra of trading. So nothing on ISRG. Coca-Cola. Okay, so this is an example of being above value, coming into value, right? Remember, we bought this over here. We went up here, sold, got out here. This is, well, it's not. We've come into the value zone. We had 1 day sidewards, then the spike down, the move back up. Yeah, I just don't think I'd like to see more sideways motion. A lot of time when you're above the 1 ATR channel and come back in, yes, you'll get an initial bounce, but if you don't have a lot of sideways motion, it's tough to get that extended move up. You get it down, a bounce, and usually come back down. So I'm going to have to let this one go. HA, which is Hawaiian Holdings. Well, this is interesting. So we have a false breakout to the downside from the low of this range. Here went below and V2. So this is one of those false breakout to the downside and V2s. Let's get a bigger picture on this. Okay, so on the monthly, we're just moving sideways. We have the 200 month above us. The weekly, well, you can see this is really moving sideways on the weekly, and we know that when stock bars move sideways for a long time, it's winding up, it's getting ready to move higher or lower, probably in a trend, but we just don't know which way, unfortunately. But I do like the sideways motion. Buying sideways motion, in my opinion, is one of the best ways, and then selling into the strength that comes after the move. This is okay. We're above the 50 RSI. We have that 50-day moving average right above us. MACD is negative. It's up 4% today. I think I'm going to let that one go as well. Bristol Myers Squibb had the nice move up. We were above value. We came back into value. That's the place to buy it, but there was no trigger, so no, it's above the 1 ATR channel. I can't get involved there. BLNK, above value into the value zone. Well, here you go. Now we have some sidewards motion here, but I would need some kind of trigger to get involved. I don't see any trigger at the moment. UNG is natural gas. Tried to get up there to that 200-day moving average. I don't see anything here either. TLND, return to value, but no sideways motion. The V2 untriggered. And SHW, that's probably one of the best ones I've seen with Sherwin-Williams. We closed under the -1 ATR channel. We rallied. We came back down. People that bought here had a nice move. When it started to get weak, they sold. This is what moved this down. We got a new group of buyers that came in today. So here's a V2, day 1, 2, 3. Day 2 washes out day 1. Day 3, well off its high, but still triggering the V2. I probably would buy this, except for it only traded 188,000 shares. So, I have a 250,000 share rule. So I know that there's some liquidity if I need to get out. Unfortunately, I would probably take this if it wasn't for the liquidity issue. So that being said, Momo's okay, it's decent. Holding that 2 ATR channel, -2 ATR channel, and this is a legitimate. Legitimate higher low V1 for sure, with MACD being positive, and it is up nicely on the day. It's traded plenty of shares. So those are my two potentials there, Disney and Momo. Let's see, is Disney still under the cross? 125.88, 125.87. So yes, it is still there. Okay, 5 minutes to go here. Is Exxon still hanging in there? Yeah, it's still hanging in. Sorry about that. And again, I am selling Monster Energy today, back at break even, but again, it is a profitable trade. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that right now. So I will be buying the overnight SPY trade. And then what I'm looking for here is Disney. I think I'm just going to go with Disney. I think I'm just going to put Momo over there. And if it does cross over, it's because I only have one thing to look at, 125.88 compared to 125.87. So again, I did get out of Monster. I'm keeping Exxon. I don't have Apple. Okay, so I'm just going to focus here on Walt Disney and the overnight SPY trade. Oh, okay. INSG looks to me, Kamal, like it is under the halfway mark, under the washout bar on INSG. Christopher Hitchin, hey Christopher, good to see you. Hope you're having a good evening in the UK. PURS, P-U-R-R-S, P-U-R-R-S. I don't have that, Jackson. Blue. It already rejected the 50-day moving average. See? And there was no sideways motion. INSG giving up a bit near here, the end. Yeah. Yeah. Kamal says INSG might be a sell end of day halfway washout bar. Yes. Yes, I agree. All right, let me put Disney up here because I'm wondering, I think it's going to be photo finish on this crossover. $125.88, $125.87, so it's still there. All right, 2 minutes to go. So I better get Disney queued up here. Oh, are you kidding me? Is this doing this again? What is going on? I'm having that issue again with my great. Oh no, now here we go. Okay, there we go. So I did buy Disney, and I will be buying SPY at the end of the day. Looks like I'm going to get a pretty good price on it. All right, well, that's it. Wow, what a give back. What a big give back. Dow ended up 112 points, NASDAQ down 42, S&P just barely over evening at 0.57. So listen, if you have any new entries or exits today, if you could please put them in the chat and I will get them all taken care of. Let me see, where did I get filled on all of this stuff? Okay, so SPY, overnight SPY trade, I got filled at 347.29, and Disney I got filled at 126.90. So Monster's out of there, no longer in Monster. Disney I took with the 1050 EMA cross. and I got that at 126.90. And SPY actually went negative, so I got filled on the SPY at 120. Oh, sorry, 347.29. Okay, so I've got the Qs, I've got the overnight SPY trade, and the 1050 EMA SPY trade, Exxon, and the new trade, the new crossover trade on Disney. So listen, before I go over and update your trades on the chart, just real quick, I just want to remind everybody that I do teach private lessons one-on-one in the evening time. I love to teach. I've been trading an awful long time, 24 years. I have studied with some really great authors and traders extensively one-on-one, like Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams. The course I teach, I take everything that I've learned from these four gentlemen, combine it into the course, and I teach you everything. It's a 15-hour course, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours long. I think the best way to learn is long-form, one-on-one student-teacher relationship so that you can ask questions, get answers right away. I basically, in each lesson, I teach the lesson, ask you questions, have you repeat it back to me, have you teach it back to me, and then we spend the rest of the night looking for setups on that lesson that I taught you. We just go through hundreds and hundreds and thousands of days of charts, and I have you set the trade up. Where's your entry? Where's your emergency stop? Where's your end of day stop? Where's your intermediate term profit target? Where's your ultimate profit target? Where are you phasing out? Where are you looking for warning signs, red flags? And somebody can teach you that once or twice, but you look at a different chart and you can't make heads or tails of it. This way, when you're done, because we have so much repetition, you can look at any chart and do it. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. You can send me an email. Email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. But if you do reach out to me, I'll reply and say, hey, thanks for saying hi. Let's set up a Skype call. Skype call is just for me to be able to speak to you, find out more about your trading, your challenges, your goals, and then it's a good time for you to ask me about any questions you have about the course that I teach. It's not a sales call. I'm not going to ask you if you want to take the course. When we're done with the call, I'll just say, hey, it was really nice speaking to you. Think it over. If you decide that you want to do the lessons with me in the future, just email me. All right. And then if you like today's podcast, I would certainly appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. Helps build the channel, helps keep the channel around, lets YouTube know that there's something valuable in the course, or in the channel. But only if you like the channel and find something positive and helpful about it. All right. So let's take a look here. Yas is in Disney. How you doing, Yas? All right. Yas is in Disney. He's out of Coca-Cola. Okay, he made money on Coke. Good. And he's out of QLD. And he made money on QLD. Very nice, Yas. Johan is out of NVAX. All right, that one was a stinker. So we're out of NVAX. We're in Disney. And in HA. Yeah, I don't blame you on HA. Just be aware of how it reacts around that 50-day moving average up there. Arthur said, everyone have a great weekend. You too, Arthur. Thank you for coming. Hope you come back. Kamal is out of Wing. Okay, good. Keep those losses small, Kamal. And I have you in Facebook already, I believe. And you are in Exxon. So, oh yeah, I've got you in Exxon also. Frank is out of match. Boy, was there any news at the end of the day why we had that sell-off? All right, well, you made a little money on match. Good, Frank. Yas says, thanks, Greg, and everyone. Best regards. Thank you, Yas. You too. Johan says, enjoy the weekend, girls and boys. Thank you, Johan. You as well. Okay. Zach is out of INSG. Yeah, that's a bummer, that one. Yeah, and it did close below the halfway. And Quad, I imagine Quad's going to be out of that, but I won't assume. Yes says, doing okay, thanks, Greg. Good. David says, happy weekend for everyone. Yes, man, I'm looking forward to the weekend. A lot of hot trading talk all the time. I'm looking forward to have a little break from trading this weekend. So, thankfully, it was a green day, so I'm grateful for that. Mainly due to the day trades, but you know, I've mentioned this many times, but I like to have a lot of different trading approaches on different time frames. Like the overnight SPY trade, it was a good profitable trade. It's real done, it's real quick. Day trading, of course, is other time frames, so it gives you more kind of diversification. And then the swing trades, and sometimes you'll do good with the day trades, not so good with the swing trades, or sometimes you'll do good with the swing trades and not good with the other stuff, and sometimes you'll do good with all of them. But I think it's good to try to get a cross section and trade different time frames. Even trading the weekly bars, I think, is a decent idea as well, just because it gives you more diversification of time. Okay, Steve is long. Disney also. Here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this like this. Steve Burns. 126.92 with the 1050 EMA crossover. Okay. Got that, Steve. And you're holding Google. Google was up today, so good. Good relative strength. So Disney's down after hours. The SPY's down 85 cents after hours. Wow. Oh, now I see. Yeah, 86 cents. Exxon's down a penny. Wow, what a big sell-off. Okay. Man, Apple just took a plunge there. Look at that. Yeah. But Gary and Frank are still in the money, so that's positive. So I still have David and Yas in Monster. Okay. So anything else on anyone's mind? Anything we want to discuss? Any questions? Anything we want to look at? It's a beautiful day here in Utah, unbelievable. So I'm looking forward to putting on my hiking boots, taking a little hike out there, listening to some good music. Good to see Jackson here. Always nice to have you back, Jackson. Anytime, come see us. And nice job on your trade there, on your APT. All right. Okay, well, listen, if there's no more questions, please go out, try to do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile, a wave, a hello, just help somebody out, give them a hand if you can. It would make the world a whole lot better place if we could do that just for one person each day. Imagine if everybody could do that. And then also, if you could please just try to go out and do something nice for an animal today, any animal. Just doesn't matter. Just be kind to them, give them a pet on the head, maybe throw the ball, take them for a walk, give them a little cuddle, give them a little treat. They really appreciate it. So human, one nice thing for human, one nice thing for an animal. That would be fantastic. Miko says, thanks, Greg. Have a great weekend. You too, Miko. Zach says, have a great weekend, Greg. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it, bud. Kamal says, thank you, Greg. Have a great weekend. Congrats on the streak. Thank you, sir. Yes, day 14. Christopher says, happy weekend to you all. Thank you, Christopher. Hope you're having a good evening there. And nice to have you back. Hope you keep coming back. Dan says, I hope Bing He is doing well. Yeah, Bing He wrote me. He has a different job with a different hours. But he did send me some results, and he is doing well, Dan. But thanks for asking about him, and if I do chat with him, I'll mention that you said hi. Christopher said, I fed a stray dog today. Thumbs up. That is fantastic. I'm sure that dog was very grateful that you did, and I'm sure you felt good about it too. Love to hear that. Thanks, Christopher. David says, I am out of Monster. Okay. I got that changed, Dave. Hope you're doing well with your shoulder, my friend. Ah, that's so great, Chris. Fed a stray dog today. Very nice. Well, okay. Well, I guess that is the conclusion of the day. Now I lost where I was. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a good rest of your day, okay? Thanks for coming. Have a good weekend. Be good. Be safe. Study up on your charts. Read Steve Burns' book, Moving Averages 101, second edition. If you have some time, it's a very low price over on Amazon. So it's definitely worth the money, I can tell you that. So thanks again for coming, and we'll hopefully see you on Monday. Bye now. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.